we all have triggers. So there's things that happen to you that causes trauma from your past that can be triggered by something happening in your present. Somebody can say something to you today and it triggers an emotional response from your yesterday. There's things that we go through that will cause us to have psychological damage, mental damage, spiritual damage, whatever you want to call it, is still damage. Everybody in the earth realm has been damaged. And when you understand that everybody's been damaged, then you start understanding that damaged people. And damaged people have triggers. This is why we'll see people going off over the smallest little thing. And it's small to us, but it's big to them because it's connected to something that happened to them in their past. You can be mad at somebody from the past and be upset with them today. Not what they did today, not what's going on today, but what happened yesterday. When you see them, you're triggered. Your whole attitude change, your whole vibe change, your whole mood change. You know, somebody's gonna look at you and say, hey, you all right? What's wrong? Oh, nothing, ain't nothing. But you seen that person and it reminded you of a traumatic event and it changed the way you was responding to your environment. It changed the way you responded to the people you were interacting with. So we have a problem because we have salvation, but we don't have deliverance. And deliverance is much needed because deliverance comes after salvation. When salvation is believing that God raised Jesus from the dead. But deliverance is when you have to turn to repenting. That's where repenting comes in, when you're changing your mind. He said anybody be in Christ, they're a new creature. So this is why a new creature means you ain't supposed to have the same old features. So if you still featuring the anger, you're still featuring the trauma, you still featuring the lust, whatever you're dealing with, God wants to get rid of it and deliver you from it. So everybody has triggers. So you could be triggered by things that happen in your past. If you were bullied and somebody said something to you that remind you of the times that you were being bullied, it could trigger you. And the next thing you know, you going off on them and you fighting them, or you mad and you feel like you got it because you're doing what you wish you had done back then. But now you said, no, I'm prepared now. But the problem is you're taking out the trauma on somebody else who didn't traumatize you. Yes, they may have said something that triggered you and reminded you of what happened to you, but you got to remember that they are not the one who initiated the trauma. So you taking out on them what happened to you that had nothing to do with them. So now we have an overreaction. We overreact because of we being triggered. So now people be like, man, what's wrong with you? I didn't even say nothing. All I said was, but in your mind, what they said reminding you what you heard when you were being bullied. So all of a sudden, now you're triggered. Now you upset. Now you mad. Now you in defensive mode. Now you're defending yourself by being offensive. And the problem is that this person does not know why you are offending them, and they don't know why you are offended, because we don't take the time to have a conversation to say that what you are doing or what you're saying to me is triggering me because there's some things that happened to me that is still traumatizing, that still bothers me. So these are conversations that we need to have in relationships. These are conversations that we need to have with our parents, our cousins, our uncles, whoever. We don't have these type of conversations. So these are secret conversations going on in our mind because we're dealing with secret memories from a past that nobody knows about but you and the person that caused you the trauma. So now we have a problem because we have these same type of people in the church. And now the church is full of people who are traumatized, and they begin to traumatize each other. So anything that was said, anything that is did triggers people. And then all of a sudden you got folks mad with each other, upset with each other. Why? Because they did something to you that reminded you of what happened to you.